All right, well, as we close in on President Trump's first 100 days, what do American voters think were his best and worst moments? We put the question to our pollster. When you watch, the blue line on your screen represents Democratic voters, red represents Republicans, and yellow is for the independents. Here's his top moment. Watch this.
Tonight I call on all civilized nations to join us in seeking to end the slaughter and bloodshed in Syria, and also to end terrorism of all kinds and all types. We ask for God's wisdom as we face the challenge of our very troubled world. We pray for the lives of the wounded and for the souls of those who have passed.
Here now, Lee Carter, pollster and president of Maslansky and Partners. Good to see you, Lee.
Great to be here.
All right, so that moment on Syria, one of his best.
It was strong, it was decisive, and people really rallied around him. You could see even the Democrats there. I mean, while they weren't totally enthused by it, they certainly weren't turned off by him. It was a moment that everybody came together and said, we can't take this.
Wow, really fascinating to watch. And then there was another moment which you label as one of his best, and you'll see it with the way everybody reacted here. But when President Trump was talking about American pride.
Anything we can dream for our country, we can achieve for our country. All we have to do is tap into that American pride that is swelling our hearts and stirring our souls. And we found that out very recently in our last election. A lot of pride.
That was really reminiscent of so many of his strongest moments on the campaign trail as well.
That's right. He gets his energy from being at those rallies around those people, and so do the American voters. You can see there Republicans and independents really respond to that message of American pride, America first, make America great again. He is at his best when he is talking around his people about those sort of things.
And bringing everybody together. All right, and then there was this moment on Trump with health care, admitting that it's a very difficult, complex subject. Watch this.
Now, I have to tell you, it's an unbelievably complex subject. Nobody knew that health care could be so complicated.
And
I think most people said, I think a lot of people knew that healthcare could be so that complicated, because if it weren't, you'd have a plan already. This was one of his low moments. You could see even Republicans and independents didn't support him in this message. That's not what they want to hear. They want to hear that he's going to fix it.
They want to hear he's got all the answers and that he's going to fix it. And we just talked to Jim Jordan at the top of the hour, and he says Republicans are on their way, so we'll see. All right, and the second worst moment, or I should say the worst moment that you brought to us tonight, these moments sort of happened earlier on in Trump's presidency. Watch this.
Free nations are the best vehicle for expressing the will of the people, and America respects the right of all nations to chart their own path. My job is not to represent the world. My job is to represent the United States of America.
Okay, let's try that one more time. That was actually one of his best moments, as you mentioned. But this was Sean Spicer and Kellyanne Conway. A few things that they said earlier on. It was that messaging coming out of the White House that a lot of even his own supporters complained about. Watch this.
Photographs of the inaugural proceedings were intentionally framed in a way, in one particular tweet, to minimize the enormous support that had gathered on the National Mall. This was the largest audience to ever witness an inauguration, period, both in person and around the globe.
You're saying it's a falsehood, and they're giving, Sean Spicer, our press secretary, gave alternative facts to that.
Those didn't go over so well, right?
They did not go over so well. What's interesting to me, though, is looking at some of the worst moments and polling people and what they were. Most of them came out of Donald Trump's tweets. And what we saw is when his people, like Kellyanne Conway and Sean Spicer, had to go out and defend those tweets, those were some of the worst moments that he had. What people really want to hear is him talking about the issues, tax reform, health care, that he's got solutions.
American
putting America
pride,
first.
The economy, that's what
right.
they love. All right, Lee Carter, thank you.
Great to be here.